Hello everyone and welcome back to Not Deeper Dive. This is a ranking video. This is the 2025 edition of the ranking all the soundtracks in the game, and instead of 15 this time there will be 20. So let's get right into it honestly and start with our 20th level. In this video I will be talking about how a soundtrack can be good and what makes it good, and also when I say level I will say if it's new or if it's moved up or down since the last ranking. And in case of 1UP, our number 20 place, it has moved down 13 spots from 7th place to 20th, and that is just purely because there's been better soundtracks released into the game, and everything I said about 1UP last time carries on to it here. I do not like it any less than I did last time. They're just better soundtracks now, pushing it down quite a bit further. And it still gives off that gaming aesthetic, a very good F777 song. Probably not the best in the game anymore. I think there's one better one on this list. We'll get to that one much later. Like, much later. And, yeah, I'll just let the song kind of play for the rest of the time after very small. The ending is such a banger, honestly. Love this ending part. That is probably what keeps it in this top 20, because 21's really close. And 22, even, so. But let's move on to our number 19. A new level to this list, Romantic Afternoon. And this level rocks that romantic feel. It feels so good. And it has some really weird percussion instruments, which I'm all for. And, I mean, it just sounds so unique. And I love the saxophone in this song. It sounds really, really lovey-dovey, and it really rocks the aesthetic here. Part of being a good soundtrack is matching what your theme is about. So, like, if I was playing an underwater level that had, like, I don't know, like, heavy metal, I don't think I would like the soundtrack much. A, because I don't like heavy metal, and B, because the theme doesn't match. So, it's good that this one matches, and it's honestly just such a banger soundtrack, especially for a slow song. Most of the soundtracks on this list are not going to be slow like this, so it pulls it off very nicely. And I love a good key change, so, you know, you gotta love that this level has a key change in here near the end a little bit. Maybe even right here, I think, a little bit. Yeah, like right here. No, never mind, sorry. There's one coming, just not right there. Yeah, love the background, like, vocal chops. That's what it was, I don't know. Oh, yeah. I legitimately forgot about this, yeah. We'll talk about the ending when we get there. I think you guys all know what the ending is. I don't know why TDX decided to put that in there, but he did. It's kind of hilarious. Very funny ending. Yeah, so right here is, like, in my opinion, the best part of the song. I love this key change. It literally gives me chills every time. Like, I just got chills. Like, ooh, okay, I'm in it. Anyway, I guess we get to hear the best part of the song again. Yeah, right here. And it's just so good. The key change, it works so well for this level, honestly. Really nice. And I just love this level so much. Really, really nice level. As well, because, you know, it matches the song. I mean, the song is the only good part about this level. It's this level's S tier as well, so the music is very nice. Now let's talk about the ending. I'm just gonna let it play.
Baby, I love you. Oh, I love you too.
I'm just clarifying that was not edited in. Like, this is actually part of the song. Why? That little, like, Easter egg or whatever you want to call it at the end literally makes me laugh every time, so this just boosts the level because I think it's funny. But let's move on to our number 18 pick. Literally directly above Romantic Afternoon on the level list, we have SeaWorld, moving down 12 spots from last time. I'm just going to say there are only 2 levels that actually moved up on the list, and they weren't on the list last time, so. But they still existed in the game, so. Yeah, another one that moved down. Once again, just because more better soundtracks have came into the game, or just realized I liked other ones better, in the case for the 2 that were on it last year that were already out. This one still has everything I said about it last time. Once again, really fits the underwater aesthetic. I like it a lot. Not as much as the sea or the sea I think is better now. You'll see that one later on the list. One of the 2 new ones that was already out at the time of the last one, but it moved up. Yeah, and I don't know, it's very calms the soul, is, you know, the thumbnail to my deeper dive on this level. Very good level, very solid, gotta love it. And I'm just gonna let the rest of the song play out. Very nice song. Just getting a little power crept, if you want to call it like that, by new soundtracks. Nothing personal, obviously. But let's move on to our number 17 pick. Scottish Techno, anyone? The Wizard of Oz, number 17. This song is the definition of Scottish Techno. I showed this to my Irish friend and he started dancing. I'm not kidding, he started tap dancing. Yeah, no, this is honestly just such a banger though. Like, I did not think I would like this level soundtrack as much as I do. It's so much better than Emerald Cities. And Emerald City is number 23 on this list, just so you guys know. Because it was, like, on my honorable mentions, but then I forgot about a different level that needed to be on this list, so. Yeah, no, honestly, I love this level. But the best part of the song doesn't come until 30% and 70%. Yeah, like, right here, pretty much, when the theme changes, it's the best part. Like, I showed this to my friend and he started tap dancing here because, like, Irish step dancing or something. It was so hilarious. Yeah, no, it's such a banger. Like, it's so good. Does it really fit the Wizard of Oz theme? Not really. Not that part, but this part does, which is something helping it for sure. Makes it really, like, intensifies that, like, creepy, eerie, going through a forest kind of vibe, and the level also helps with that with these, like, corridors. So music combined with gameplay really makes this level actually feel like you're going on a journey to the Wizard of Oz, which is what it should do. So the music mixed with gameplay is really what helps this get into the top 20. because without the music mixed with gameplay, because even though this is a soundtrack ranking video, it's also, it has to tie with gameplay a little bit, because the gameplay can be what makes or breaks the soundtrack, honestly. And there's one soundtrack in specific there's one soundtrack in specific I'm referring to when I say that, and you'll see it later. It's in the honorable mentions. It's number 21, but yeah, no, the gameplay really helps tie it to the theme, which it should. So, for this level's case, it was one of the most helped by its gameplay. It's still a great song though, so that's why it gets number 17 on this list. Let's move on to number 16. Falling 6 spots from last time, number 16 is Chronos. And once again, I think the reason for all of these falling is there's just better soundtracks now. But this one's managed to hold its ground a little bit better because, once again, gameplay really helps the soundtrack, so that's another level. But more of the soundtrack is just really good. You gotta love a good 3-4 soundtrack, which it's not in 3-4 right now, but it will switch to it. Non-musicians will have no idea what I just said. But, yeah, the guitar part, I'm not into rock, but it's hella hard. Like, hella hard. It's so good. And, I mean, gotta love it. This part right here is what I'm talking about. Like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, it makes me want to, like, go into a bar or something and, like, start a rock band with strangers I just met, like, yeah. Yeah, no, just honestly so solid. Once again, everything I said last time also carries over to this time. And once again, just being power grabs, if you want to call it that, like I said, by newer, better soundtracks. Could be recency bias, but I don't think so, because a lot of the ones near the top have been out for a while since I made the last one. The last one I made the day before Westlands update, so just so you know. Oh wow, I'm an idiot. I guess when we're coming back, I'll mention the slowing pads. I'll slow not just you, but also the music. Since that's a gameplay thing that does affect music, I think they did it pretty well. Yeah, no complaints there, honestly. It doesn't really affect the music in a negative way or a positive way, so nice that it's there. What a nice addition. Because otherwise the music would be very off-sync, so yeah, I guess we don't want that. Very nice gameplay to go on the music, because I feel like with the rock parts, the gameplay feels a lot more intense than the parts with the, like, more chill guitar, so very nice level. Very nice soundtrack and everything. Would love for this to be higher, but I really can't place it any higher because the level that's coming up next was in the same situation, except even worse. So let's move on to our number 15 level that has fallen even more. The first of 5 co-creation levels of this list, and 2 that appeared on the last list. Tribal Hunting will take 15th place, falling 7 spots from last time. And this level soundtrack is still so good, and it recently got pushed out of my top 10 because of a certain level that will appear on this list, with, I believe, I think the 3rd best soundtrack in the game, which pushed it out of S tier. And it's a co-creation level too. Alright, we get to start over, sorry about that. Yeah, it's also a co-creation level, so that hurts this level even more. This level was hurt significantly more than Chronos, but why is it above it then? Because A, I think the soundtrack is better than Chronos, and B, it just fell more. That was the thing. That crown is so much harder. Just like with Chronos and Wizard of Oz, the gameplay very much fits the music, and that'll apply to almost every single level in this list, I think, from here on out. I'll mention some exceptions when I get to them. And this will manage to make a really mid soundtrack from Jungle Expedition and make this one really good, so they turned the set around for sure. It really fits this soundtrack really fits the strange aesthetic that the level itself has, so I guess that's pretty cool. I don't know what to say. And pretty much everything I said in the previous ranking for all levels that were in it carry on over, unless I like brewed new opinions on them. But this is not one of those cases. So I'll just kind of let the song play out for this time. Gotta love that loop at the end. The loop is really solid. And let's move on to our next level. And this next one's pretty interesting. Yeah, so moving up over 40 spots from the last one. 40, not 14. Faded Remix. That wasn't even on the list last time. Yeah. So this one has improved so much because I've been playing this level a lot more. Faded is just an okay song, you know. It was on my 2022 Spotify playlist, but I took it off, and it really hasn't been on there for really at all. But this level is so good. Why did it have to get removed? Like, I swear, it's such a good level. The soundtrack is, like, so good. And there's a certain part of the level, when we get there, I'll mention it. That's my favorite part. And it really helps it out here, because some people may find it like funny that I like the part, but I think it just like helps the song so much. This, like, I love Faded right here. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize it was coming so fast. This is my favorite part, especially when it goes like this. Yeah, I love that. I don't know what's making that sound, but it sounds so funny, and I love it. I love this level for it. Like, honestly, this entire part, like, when it's in this theme, is my favorite, and I don't know why, the music's just so catchy. I forgot how short this level is, though, and that's really sad to me. Love the soundtrack for this level, because Faded is, it's okay, you know, but, like, this level just takes it up a notch so much better. I love this level so much. And I once again, I'm going to bring this concept up a lot. You'll see it in some deeper dives that aren't released yet. I also said it with a Alone remix. They should start bringing back old levels that, like, you had to buy, but just, like, change the soundtrack like they did with Ignite. But if you bought the level, just let them keep the soundtrack. It's so easy. And it would work for everyone. It's like a win-win-win. I don't see there being any, like, copyright problems since they did it with Ignite. So, come on. Where's Minimax? Take notes. Yeah, I really hope they do that, but this level's so good. And this level's soundtrack is very worthy of being on this list among the best of the best, and I believe it will be here next year, unless, like, I think 9 levels have better soundtracks within the next years. So, yeah. Let's move on to our next pick, number 13, that did not move, is the only one on this list that did not move since last year. Number 13 on this list has not moved. Still number 13 was last time, Kingdom War. So back then this level had just come out, so I didn't know if it was a bit of recency bias or anything like that. So I put it a little lower, and it worked out so that it's still number 13. Has not moved in a year. Crazy. That this level's even been out for a year, or yeah, 6 months now. Yeah, I guess I can't say a year since I did film it in like August, but whatever. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, anyway, moving on to this little soundtrack. Still as good as it was last year. Very, very good soundtrack. And man, I'm sorry if I suck at this level. I have not played this level very much. Still an S tier though. Just for you that wanted to know. Mr. Pro Bro. I know you were gonna ask that. But, yeah, no, this soundtrack is still as good as I ranked it last time. Like, I legitimately don't think I could say anything else new about this soundtrack, especially because, like, it's ranked the exact same as last time. So, if you want a good opinion on this level of soundtrack, go back to that video for more in-depth reviews on it in my playlist. It's under the ranking videos category. So yeah, it really works as like a kingdom theme level, I guess. And I'll just let this play out the rest. Really awesome ending. Really good ending there. But let's move on to our number 12. The second and only other level to move up on this list. The Sea, which moved over 12 spots, I believe, to be on this list because it wasn't last time. And I mean, it is my 4th favorite level in the game, so I think it deserves to be on this list. I don't know why it really wasn't on my list last time. I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. Yeah, maybe I had a little bit too much of recency bias going on because there's definitely some weird picks like Fireworks and Beach Party Rock. Beach Party Rock is a weird pick for me. I would not even put this like in honorable mentions like it was last time. That's like 40 spots below this list now. Don't know what I was thinking. This little song is very similar to SeaWorld. It's just a little bit better, I guess. And if you ask me, like back in 2021, I think, which soundtrack is better, I in a heartbeat would have picked SeaWorld. But I really appreciate this little soundtrack more now. Now, if you ask me which soundtrack is better, Tsunami or SeaWorld, I would definitely say SeaWorld because Tsunami soundtrack is so overrated. I mean, it really makes me feel like I'm under sea too. So, funny enough, all 4 sea level soundtracks are in this list. So, they're obviously doing something right with the sea soundtracks. As you'll see later with the 2 co-creation level sea ones, you will see that they do a very good job at creating the sea soundtracks. And I love this build up. This build up part is literally one of my favorite parts of this level in general. Because getting the 2 crowns as it builds up feels so good, even though you were okay. I was literally just about to say, even though getting this crown takes literally no effort, and then I die. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that when you revive, it keeps the little music error you get in the beginning. I did not know that. That's so funny, because in the beginning I skipped the slow pad. I didn't even realize that kept it out. That's so funny. Another reason to love this level so much. Still number 12 though. Not bad by any means. There's just better soundtracks. The next pick is going to surprise a lot of people. Like if you watched my video next year, so let's see number 11. Falling 9 spots from last year. Ouch. Ouch. Interstar Leap. Oh, I love this soundtrack so much, and this level is still the second best level in the game. But like, I can't justify putting it any higher with so many better soundtracks in the game now. And I just love this soundtrack so much. It's so joyous. It brings joy to me. It reminds me of when this song came out. I was on a road trip from a church trip, and I had so long to perfect it, and I was waiting for Lab Confidential to come out, and oh, the nostalgia the soundtrack brings me so much, and I just want to sing along with it and bang my head, but I can't justify putting it anywhere over 11 now because there's so many better soundtracks, and I mean, yeah, I really hate putting it down here, but there's just so many better soundtracks now, and this calm part really brings it down, even though it's not bad at all. It's a really good part, but I just like the rest of it more. I am glad they changed the music though, because if you don't know, right here, yeah, the key change right here, it was supposed to be something else originally, but they changed it, like, I don't know if it was last minute, but they decided to change it, and I'm so glad they did, because the original version I think is so much worse than what they ended up doing, because I've heard the original version, and I very much prefer this one, so I'm glad they changed it. I'm just going to let the rest of the soundtrack play out, because it is awesome. Such a great level, but I can't put it any higher. Now, let's move on to our number 10 choice. Ouch, again, minus 9 spots. Moonlit Night Movement, the second co-creation level featured on this list this time. It got first place last time. And now it's 10th. Yeah, I got some explaining to do, because last time I just said it's great, now listen to it. You know what? There's just better soundtracks, and I think I even overrated this one a little bit, because I don't know, I just really liked the one part at like 50%, and yeah, I really wish I don't know, I think I just overrated this level a lot, and it's unfortunate because this level still has a great soundtrack, but I think I really just let the soundtrack carry this level into S tier for a little too long. And my deeper dive is a little outdated now because it was my 7th episode, which was a long time ago. So, unfortunate. And this is the part that I really like. I love this part, but the rest of the song is very weak. And I just kind of let this carry it a little bit. Still better than the rest of our other songs, though, because the whole song is it's good. It is just a lot of the rest of the parts are weaker than its big, huge, amazing part. So with that, I'm just going to let the rest of it play out. I did forget to mention the themes changing with the music works very well here. I don't agree with that when you do. Very solid soundtrack, but a little overrated on my part, unfortunately. Let's move on to number 9. Our third co-creation level on this list, and also new, Kaleidoscope. This is also the only level in A tier on this list. Yeah, its soundtrack is really good, but its gameplay is the only reason it's not S tier. Just saying. It's really close though. It's really close to S tier. It's my highest level in A tier. I gotta love this level because the lyrics, like the lyrics, really make this level soundtrack really good. I love the little like side lyrics, honestly. like I'm singing along to it. It's just awesome what she's singing. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just gonna let this one play out because the song is way more interesting than the gameplay, and I can't really commentate much more. Really nice ending as well with the piano. Very nice. Love this level. With that, let's move on to our number 8. The 4th co-creation level on this list, and I just realized there's 6 co-creation levels, not 5, but one's an honorable mention, so that's a whole other thing. Breaking. This is the best F777 soundtrack, by the way. If you didn't know, this was a copyrighted soundtrack, so not that I'm making money off this video anyway. Yeah, I love this song. So good, such a good choice. Amazing choice on my part. They did a great job picking this one out. I love how the beat drops here. And some people might say, but it's just playing the same thing over and over again until like 60%, and like, yeah, so what? So do Tribal Hunting. Like, they are the kings of being able to pull that off. Because there's like different melodic chords and everything else like that too, so it's not like the same thing all over again. So, to those people, you're wrong. And I don't normally say my opinion's better, but I mean, just saying, no, I'm just kidding. You are all entitled to your own opinion. I just love this soundtrack a lot. It's such a banger, honestly. This part's really good too. I'd say the beginning is more of my favorite part, but this part's solid too, honestly. And it works really well with the dual part too coming up, I think, right now, yeah. I'm just gonna let this play out for the rest of the time. Yeah, the ending of that level confuses me so much. But the song is really solid, and that's all that counts in this video, not gameplay, unless it relates to the level specifically. Which, like I said, there's like one exception, but all the rest I don't even have to mention it anymore. Let's move on to our number 7 pick. Moving down 2 spots from last time, Foggy City. And literally nothing about this level soundtrack has changed, except for the fact that there's 5 new ones that have been added into the game that have pushed this down. Because the one above this was also pushed down 2 spots from last time, and then the other 4 are new, so... Or 5, sorry. The other 5 are new. Number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 are new. And number 21 and 22 are also new, and we'll get into honorable mentions in a while. So I'm just gonna let this one play out as well, if you want. To skip to the next one, I recommend going to around 36 minute mark. Love all the different genres mixing around in that level on there in the soundtrack. So good. It works so well. I've heard a lot of people critique it, saying it's the worst soundtrack. And to those people, I actually don't know what they're thinking. So let's move on to our number 6 choice, the only returning one. And it's kind of obvious. Of course, my favorite level in the game would have the number 6 spot, moving down 2 spots from last time. It would be the highest from last year, of course. It makes sense. It actually sounds so classical and fancy and just like a classical game of chess. You know what's about to happen. It's going to be very nice and delicate. And then you take your opponent's bishop and they throw the chessboard across the table, and you know, that's just what I think of when I'm playing this level. This level is, in my opinion, I think even better than the Wizard of Oz when you're like talking about how the music like compares to gameplay. Like, because now you picked up all the pieces, you started a new game, and you're moving all the pieces, like all the cubes coming up from nowhere. That's you like moving pieces out of nowhere, all the pieces on the chessboard, and then it starts getting a little heated. You guys keep taking like each other's pieces, each other's pawns, and then you guys take each other's bishop for a rook. Oh my gosh! Now you guys are only left with a few more pieces. It's intense. The queen is checking the king right now, but the knight just took out the queen. The song matches so much with the gameplay. I think this is the best example level in the game that like even uses the soundtrack to its full potential. And I haven't seen a single person talk about that analogy. It's because like I play chess competitively, but I don't know. And then this part's like, oh, we're just left with our kings left, so it's basically just gonna be a stalemate. Like, cool. We just realized, fuck, we wasted our time, but it was fun time playing. And then the end's like, oh, good game. Wanna play again? And then they're like, yep. And then you're just like, alright, let's set up a new board. And then you set up a new board, and it's the whole process again. And that is this level soundtrack. I made up a whole story. I made up a whole damn story about a level about chess. You better subscribe now. No, I'm just kidding. But let's move on to our top 5. And all 5 of these are new levels. They were not in the game when I last filmed this. So let's start out with number 5. The second hardest 4-star in the game, Hub, bonus of Pipeline, 5th best soundtrack in the game. Also one of the most hated levels in the game, but loved soundtracks. And I love both. I love this level in general. I think people are like out of their minds because this level, in my opinion, represents getting lost in a sewer. Like the weird movers being like having weird patterns. That's all like pipes connecting and stuff like that. And I think this song connects very well to the music. There's a lot of music sync, which I really like in levels, like I said, in Aerostar Leap last year. And I think there's just a lot of good music, like right here. That's great music sync. And like the music really makes you feel intense. Like, oh my god, I'm lost in a sewer. What's gonna happen? Like, you never know. And it's like it makes you really feel pumped. Even though I think if like this song had a calm soundtrack, it would have been weird because the song is not calm. It's very intense. For a 4-star, especially if you want to perfect this level, because it has weird crowd notes and the movers and stuff like that. Like, you have to think when you're playing this level, which is why I think this soundtrack works very well for it. And I mean, realistically, I think that this is definitely deserving of top 5. It's even better than Chess Fortress. Yeah, honestly, it's so good. And this ending part is really good. What I love even more is that the ending of Pipeline teased this song and nobody actually believed it. Because it sounded weird. Like the composer was like, hey, this is the tease song for Hub, guys, or we didn't know the name of it yet. And nobody's like, no way. And then when the song was released, they're like, oh my gosh, he wasn't lying. It's actually kind of funny, the lore behind the soundtrack. So you gotta love some soundtrack lore. I'm just gonna let the last 10% play out. Yeah, I love the mover music sync there. It actually works very well for it. And let's move on to our number 5 spot. Or 4 spot. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm an idiot. Number 4. In my opinion, one of the most iconic bonuses in the game, Time Machine, is number 4 on this list. This level gives me nostalgia, and it literally came out like in 2024. And I think that's what this level is supposed to do. Is a 9th anniversary level is supposed to give me nostalgia, and that's something that a lot of the anniversary levels didn't do. Like Eternal Journey didn't really give me that. But like the violin, it reminds me of like all those YouTube shorts that are like 2010 kids will understand the references like that. And it's like, it makes me, yeah, I think I legitimately like teared up when I first heard this soundtrack because it was so good. And I mean, oh my gosh, I love this soundtrack because it's like, it's got this like very sad tone to it. Like it feels like it's over, but it's not. There's still plenty of life, because when the piano is done, the violin comes in, and it's like the life is coming back. And then once the violin comes in, the drums come in, and then you hear some like synthesizer in the back, and then it like gets really amped up, and you've got like this whole celebration going on, like a celebration of life, like 9 years going strong. We're going to make it to 10 years. And the soundtrack just, it makes the anniversary just feel so alive. And it honestly made one of the best, no, the best anniversary level happen. And like, I get chills like I literally have goosebumps right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. I might have been kidding when I said that with romantic afternoon, but here I'm not. Like, it's so good. I love this song. I don't know who composed this song, but I love how they did it, whoever did. It really gives me that nostalgia feel, which is how I think something should give me for an anniversary level, and this was the first time I ever felt that in 9 years. I'm very happy that this level exists. Let's move on to number 3. The last co-creation level on this list that is not an honorable mention, Sunshine Ocean. I knew from the second that I heard this soundtrack that I was like, oh yeah, this is S tier. I don't even care about the gameplay. No, I mean I did care what the gameplay was, and the gameplay is good, but that's beside the point for this video. This song is like the epitome of happy, cheery. This is Interstellar Leap times 2. Like, well, I love this level soundtrack so much. it's so like cheery. It makes me want to like bounce for joy. And I don't even know why. Like it doesn't really give off that sea aesthetic like Shining Waves as the Sea Road does. But I don't really care. This is the exception I was talking about. Like when gameplay affecting like the surroundings. Yeah, no, this level doesn't really do that with me. But I don't care, honestly. And even in terms of ranking it on tier list, this is in my top 10. And it doesn't like the music is like straight up carrying this level so hard. I love the soundtrack. And you may be wondering, but didn't you say like the level of the best soundtrack will always be third place in tiers? And I'm like, yes, you would be right. That would, I mean, it's obvious if you've watched any of my videos, you know what first place on this list is going to be. But yeah, no, this level's still in my top 10 because it has, it's close to beating number 2 and number 1. And number 2 is almost exactly the same as number 1. It's barely lower. So these three are very high quality soundtracks, very hard to beat it. Even Time Machine is like, I'd say, pretty distant fourth. And it's not bad at all. Like I said, you just heard me rant about how good it was. Like, this level is so good though, and it's miles better than Time Machine. Even though Time Machine was awesome, and the other two somehow managed to top this. It's crazy how we keep getting banger soundtracks, and we will continue to get good soundtracks. If you know, wow, I'm an idiot. If you noticed, only 4 Cheetah Mobile soundtracks were on this list. 4. Including the honorable mentions, and ones I haven't mentioned yet. It's just the Faded Remix, Sea Run to Sea, and 1UP. The rest of them are Minimax made. That shows how much higher quality soundtracks are with Minimax. They get the better people, and even the soundtracks they do create on their own, which are very few, they nail. Like, I cannot think of a single bad soundtrack that they made in like the past 2 years. And that is very high praise coming from me, who's very like about music. Like there's a certain niche, you know. But let's move on to number 2, because this level's music is really good too. Number 2, Desolate Area. Oh my god. This level's soundtrack is so good. I legit had a hard time debating if this was number 1 or not. But overall I went with the one you guys would expect. This soundtrack nails the Wild West aesthetic. And the 80% part that like doesn't really feel Wild West is my favorite part of the song. And it's not even like this is a bad part too. This is one of my favorite songs in the game. And on another note, I don't think that any of my opinions since Time Machine have been or are going to be controversial by the community standards, because I think everyone likes Sunshine Ocean. I've heard no bad things about this level or its soundtrack, and my number 1 pick I think is just forgotten by most people. And then my honorable mentions, one just came out, and then the other is also very well liked by the community. So I don't think I'm going to get too much hate for this, unless the one that just came out like gets hated for some reason, but I don't see that happening because I think it's really good design level. And this part, they always nail the minecart parts, honestly. Okay, what was that? They nail these parts, especially with the music. Like, the music here is so good. It fits so well. Also, I want to mention I died more on a 2-star than any other one in this video. Mostly because of lag, because that's happened both times. But soundtrack is so good. Like, it's building up for something crazy. And I love this part. Like, I'm literally like bopping right now. It's so fun. Love this little soundtrack. Not to mention the level design, it just works with this level too. Like, feels very like Wild Westy, and then you arrive at town, like you're in town right now. The horse neighing is so funny. This is my favorite part of the soundtrack. Like I'm just like dancing to myself right now. It's so good. It's like the definition of a bop. It's so awesome. Oh my gosh. I love this level so much. This is one of my favorite levels by far. It's definitely in my top 5. I love this level. Now, before we move to number 1, let's take a look at 2 honorable mentions first. Number 22, Shining Waves. I love this soundtrack. It's so good. It fits the underwater aesthetic so well. And this is the 4th, and well, there's only 4 sea levels in the game, so yeah. This is the last place sea level soundtrack in the game, and it's still S tier. Yeah. That gives you a little look at how good all of the sea levels are in this game. I would not put a single one in A tier or below. They are so good. They always nail them, and this was co-creation too, so it wasn't like Minimax's idea. This was like a fan-made concept. So, and then Samsung always makes bangers. Let's be real, and they're copyright free. So, you know, cha-ching if you know what I mean. Not that it matters. I've already used like 3 F777 songs in this video. And I can't make money out of the videos yet, but you know. This is such a banger level. Love it. To be honest, nothing really happens here gameplay-wise, so the music, I guess, kind of helps because it's like nothing really goes on here music-wise either, so this part of the level can't be pretty boring, which is what keeps it in low S here, I'll admit. Just a random connection there where the gameplay does very much matter. Yeah, I'm just gonna let the rest of this one play out because there's not too much more to say. A nice little fade out at the end. Works pretty well. Let's move on to number 21, and this next one I will not play, I'll just leave it on the title screen. Number 21, Abyss Traps. Yeah, this level is quite good. Unfortunately, it is the tap Chinese version because it's still not out on international, and it's Sunday. Kind of annoying, but yeah, it's such a goofy soundtrack, and it really fits the aesthetic of this level. And this is one where it really fits the gameplay as well. Not that I'm going to show you guys because it's locked, unfortunately. And I don't want to get the keys right now. So yeah, that's this level. And let's move on to our number 1 pick. In first place, you all expected it if you even watch my videos. You know the first deeper dive I did was on this level, Battle Bastion. I'm just gonna let the soundtrack play out because it's a banger. What an awesome soundtrack. You can look at like any video I did on this about it. I have so many reasons to store it. It's my best soundtrack. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Do you guys all like Naval Battle soundtrack and are annoyed with me for not even putting it on this list? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think is your favorite soundtrack? And I'll tell you guys how it differs from mine. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one.